Frogs lose, and the TCU Horned Frogs don't just lose, they completely implode on Friday night in Tempe. What starts out as a 17-0 lead for TCU in a game that the Frogs are beating Arizona State up and down the field. The momentum swings, and it is all downhill from there. TCU losing in the final minute of the game, 27-24. And the pathway to Arlington suddenly has become a lot more complicated, to say the least. We're going to break this thing down. I hope you're ready to break it down with me, because Lord knows I don't want to talk about this by myself. Golly Moses. Y'all better be calling in. The link is in the chat. Okay, help a brother out. Before we get this thing going, though, y'all know I need some stuff from you. Hey, it's me, as always, Clint Foster here of Biggest 12 and TCU Postgame Live, bringing you this rapid reaction to the Horned Frogs' loss at Arizona State. First game against Arizona State since 1975. Frogs have never beaten the Sun Devils, so we're going to keep that going. I need some subs from y'all, okay? So please do subscribe to the show, whether you're watching at a Big 12 Voice of College Football or TCU Voice of College Football. Hey, hit that little subscribe button on both of them. I need you at both places. Specifically, if you could head over to the Big 12 channel, we are 26 subs away from actually being able to monetize that channel. And y'all, I need that. I need that in a very real way. Okay, so please help me out. Please go and subscribe. And subscribe to the TCU channel while you're here if you're watching on the TCU channel as well. And while you're hitting the subscribe button on things, make sure you head on over to my personal YouTube channel at Clint Foster Creations. Hit the subscribe button. That's where you're going to find Remember the Alamo Bowl, a much happier memory than the one that we just made tonight of TCU football. The Frogs actually coming back from a deficit. Imagine that, instead of being the ones to squander a big lead. So go check out Remember the Alamo Bowl and everything else I got going on at Clint Foster Creations. Hopefully I'll be able to make another sketch for you this weekend. And follow me on Twitter at Clint_Foster55. There, that is right there. You could have been hearing all of my musings. Initially very great, then very bad by the end of the game. Also, make sure you're subscribed to 12 and TCU Postgame Live wherever you get your podcasts, Apple, Spotify, and also download Novig. New spinning app. Really, really great deal. If you enter in our promo code EOCF Big 12, you're gonna have an opportunity to get a nice, I think it's 50 coins for $1. Something great to get you started out. And there's a lot of different games you can play, a lot of different parlays you can pull. You got to be 21 years or older to do it. And if you have a gambling problem, make sure that you call 1-800-GAMBLER. Don't let that thing get out of control. All right, let's get to talking about this thing, y'all. Because my good gracious, that was extremely frustrating to watch as a Frog fan for, a little over half of that game. TCU had opportunity after opportunity after opportunity to put that game away, to get back into that game when it was tied, and squandered every single one of them. So for those of you who weren't able to catch the game, yes, Colin, I am sad as well. For those of you who weren't able to catch the game, Frogs go up fast, 17-0. I mean, offense is clicking on all cylinders. Frogs are running the ball fairly well. I mean, there was a beautiful, I cannot say enough good things about that Trent Battle touchdown where we had a pulling tight end. It's blocked masterfully all up and down the field. I mean, great. We're running the ball well. We're passing the ball well. We're playing good defense. And we're up 17-0. Obviously, things are going great. And then that pendulum swings, and it swings hard. And it never felt like we quite could get that momentum back. We weren't helped by the fact that we didn't have Eric McAllister for most of the game. Eric McAllister dealing with an injury, some sort of a leg injury that's presumably he got during practice. I don't know what his return looks like, how much he was hampered, if he's going to be able to be back for Colorado. We obviously hope so. But not having him, not having Kavorian Barnes, both hurt in a major way. There was a lot about this game that kind of felt like the UCF game last year, truly. Really felt like the UCF game, because not only did you have a lead in this game and you weren't able to finish it, but also just like with UCF, you end up completely abandoning the run game about halfway through the game, right? And we'll talk about this offensive line. Bet your boots we're going to talk about this offensive line, man. But we weren't really attempting to run the ball very much. I think that we have a tendency to give up on the run game a little prematurely, my personal opinion, but we also weren't blocking effectively down the stretch. And you obviously have to block effectively down the stretch if you're going to run the ball. And when you make yourself one-dimensional in a game where momentum is already not in your favor, right? And it looked like, to me, like Josh Hoover was pressing a little bit near the end of that game. We were pressing a little bit in our play calling, trying to get, instead of taking what the defense gives us, trying to get it all at once, trying to go for the big play over and over and over again. You're going to strike out if you're just constantly trying to swing for a home run, right? There were things open underneath late in that game, and we were just kept trying to heave it deep. But yeah, not having a run game was a major issue. And that, the defense, we're going to talk about the defense too. The defense truly played lights out. I mean, you can nitpick and say, I saw people on Twitter talking about like, oh, the secondary was trash. Listen, Sam Levitt is freaking good, okay? Sam Levitt's really good. If someone can buy time like that, guys are going to get open, especially when one of those guys is Jordan Tyson, he is the best draft eligible receiver in the nation right now. He should be the Blitnikoff Award winner. I'm going to say that right now. This is not on the secondary. Okay. The defense played really well. As much as they were on the field and as many times as they had a short field to deal with, to only give up 27 points, I literally cannot say enough good things about the defense. And we'll get into them as well. But yeah, Frogs have opportunities late in that game. Arizona State ties it up. TCU has an opportunity to win it with 2 minutes left. They turn the ball over. Arizona State ends up kicking a field goal to go ahead, and Frogs obviously have another, short. It was like a minute, 50 seconds, something like that, to try and score again. And Josh Hoover throws the interception. Uncharacteristically rough day for Josh Hoover, but the man had pressure in his face a lot. And that is going to lead us to at least Houston's losing. I don't care, Clint. I don't care if Houston's losing. That doesn't matter to me. Let's talk about the offensive line. My Lord. Okay, so first the running game. All right. You saw Ryan Hughes and that other tackle whose name is escaping me rotating a lot. But it wasn't just Ben Taylor Whitfield and Ryan Hughes and the tackles that were having issues. We were having issues inside. We couldn't deal with their twists and stunts. There were a lot of times where they weren't even blitzing anybody, just like happened at SMU. And we didn't really talk about it last week because we won the game, but we weren't able to handle a 4-man rush. You got to be able to handle a 4-man rush, man. And Arizona State got home 6 times, 6 sacks in this game. Okay. No quarterback's going to have a particularly great game when he's on his back that often. Right. And a lot of those sacks came late in the game. Those 6 sacks also accounted for negative 38 yards rushing. So here's your rushing total for the day. 25 carries, 10 yards. 10 yards. You're not going to win many ball games rushing for 10 yards. I would venture to say you're not going to win any ball games rushing for 10 yards. And before you say, okay, well, wait a minute. A lot of that was sack yardage that we lost. Okay, yes. 50 total yards just from the running backs. 50 yards. Okay. And, this is where I say maybe we abandoned it too soon. We were behind the sticks most of the daggum game. All right. Josh Hoover did really well on a lot of 3rd and longs. And I think we abandoned the run game too soon because we only had, 9 plus 6 is 15. 15 carries. What? 15 carries when you had a 17-0 lead in this game? I'm sorry. Come on. You got it. And yes, you are correct. You are absolutely correct. Arizona State's defense is legit. So you can't be stupid. You can't be stupid with them. You can't make mistakes. You got to communicate with each other. All right. I said on the Biggest 12 that Arizona State had a really good defense. I've been saying this. The Arizona State's defense is good. But TCU has a good offense, right? TCU has a lot of talent on this offense. Jordan Dwyer had a pretty good game. Manjack had a pretty good game. In fact, let me give you some numbers here. Manjack was 6 receptions, 83 yards. Jordan Dwyer was wow, only 3 catches. It felt like more. We're certainly targeting him a lot. 3 catches for 42 yards. He, of course, had the one hit him in the gut that he let jump out for an interception, one of the interceptions in the red zone. Overall, on the day for Josh Hoover, 20 of 32, 242 yards, 2 interceptions. Certainly not his best. So that certainly kills any Heisman talk, I would wager, which is a shame because I still think that Hoover is an extremely good quarterback. I just think it was just such a choke job there down near the end. And I will say too, that interception at the end of the game, that was his first interception all year that you can say that was truly on him. A receiver didn't pop it up in the air or do something stupid with it. Like he threw it directly where he did not need to throw it. Yeah, and you're right. It's hard to win in the desert. It's hard to win in Tempe anyway. It's hard to win on a short week on a Friday night when you've also got a very slippery field for what looked like most of that game. Yeah, it wasn't ideal conditions, but you know what? We were doing great, but we just couldn't finish. And you know, you hate to pin that sort of thing on coaching because I mean, yeah, it's a different deal, but as a middle school coach myself, like you can put kids in a position to succeed, you can tell kids everything they need to know, but at a certain point they got to do it, right? But that was not a good showing any way you slice it. The offensive line again was just very bad. I mean, back to early last season form bad, but also too, we probably abandoned the run sooner than we should have. We probably shouldn't have been passing deep quite as and it's hard to know too, right? It's hard to know from the outside looking in how much of that is Hoover choosing to read deep first and how much of it is the offensive coordinator saying, hey, this is what we're doing, right? Because there were underneath routes on most of those passes. And you also saw Josh late in that game forcing some things. It's just, again, it's very uncharacteristic of him. Of course, I say that, but this team really hasn't. I'm trying to search my mind here. This is, again, raw, unfiltered, rapid reaction. This team with Josh Hoover, so they had a battle against Texas Tech last year, but that's really the only game that comes to mind where TCU was having to like show poise, come back from being down, be in this like real dogfight of a game and pull it out, right? It feels like more often than not, this team is either just completely beating up on a opponent that they're much better than, or they're not able to finish against a comparable opponent. And here's the other thing too. I'm not even talking about the offensive line anymore. I need to just take this banner down. We'll talk about this one. To me, these looked like 2 top 15 teams. To me, okay? Arizona State's very good. TCU's very good, regardless of the fact that we lost this game. Again, it becomes a lot harder for us to get to Arlington now. It's not impossible. It becomes a lot harder, okay? It's a shame that you got squirrely people like that girl we were all making fun of on Twitter who are the AP voters who are going to, take a giant dump all over TCU's chest and act like we suck, okay? The Big 12 has a lot of freaking good teams in it. Arizona State is one, TCU is one, Iowa State's one, Texas Tech is one, right? There's a lot of good teams in this league, and they should be ranked. You shouldn't have Illinois ranked. You shouldn't have Notre Dame ranked. You shouldn't have Texas in the top 10. There's a lot of BS, okay, going on in this poll. And so it's unfortunate to me that maybe Arizona State's ranked next week, but maybe neither of us are, right? So my point in saying all of that, I'm being entirely too ADD right now. My point in saying all of that is that these are 2 good teams, and TCU was evenly matched in this game, and they couldn't finish, right? And that's concerning. We've seen that too often. Let me catch up on the chat, make sure I'm not missing anything. This loss is eerily reminiscent of TCU early last year and the year before that. Yeah, man. That's what I'm saying. It felt like UCF. Obviously, we weren't up as big, but you were in control of the game. And then you just took the foot off the throat and started panicking, right? Yeah, and I do think that's true too, Sports Talk with Austin. I think that people were too quick to write off Arizona State. Arizona State's a good team. They got a dang good coach, man. I freaking love Kenny Dillingham. Seems like ASU is either winning by less than 1 score or losing by more than by 1 score. Yeah. Well, that is true. That is true. Okay, yeah, this is worth talking about since we had the O-line conversation before I get into the defense. The fumble TCU had that gave Arizona State the lead. Okay, so he's talking about TCU's got the ball. It's 24-24, 2 minutes left in the game, opportunity to drive down. And here I'm thinking, hey, this is the moment where Hoover steps up. He proves that he is who we think he is, and he leads us down the field and he scores, right? Instead, he gets sacked and the ball gets stripped. He's holding the ball out like this, right? And it gets stripped. You know, I kind of wish they would have reviewed it. It kind of looked like he might have been down before the ball got taken away. I mean, that was far from the most egregious call in the game. It wasn't an especially horribly officiated game. I shouldn't act like it was. But you know, at any rate, that so the question here is that on Hoover? Did Hoover hold the ball too long, or was the O-line not blocking good enough? Okay. Now you can look at this either way. I was texting with one of my best friends, and he was pinning it all on Hoover. He's holding on to the ball too long, right? Why is he waiting for the deep thing to open up? But here's the thing, man. As an offensive line coach, okay, that was on the offensive line. There was entirely too much pressure on him, in my opinion, that entire second half. The entire second half, okay? You know you're in 2-minute drill. I think we still had a couple of timeouts at that point, if I remember correctly. But you know you're going to be throwing deep a lot, okay? You got to give the quarterback time. And they didn't blitz. It was a 4-man rush. Nobody should have been in Hoover's face at all. You got to be able to communicate with each other and give the man 4 freaking seconds to find a receiver, okay? He didn't have the ball a crazy amount of time. It's just, you know, this O-line is played together more now, and the interior of that line specifically should be better than that. They are better than that. And again, it's a situation where, like, yes, you're playing a front seven in Arizona State that is very good, but you got to put up or shut up, man. You got to get out there and play. I'm putting it on the offensive line, and I'm open to other interpretations, but that was my vantage point, what I saw. Okay, Antoine, what do you have? Arizona State's been playing horrible in the red zone. If we can get that fixed, Arizona State will be hard to beat. So I'm assuming you're an Arizona State fan. Yeah. Well, you know, you can say Arizona State's playing horrible in the red zone, but I really think that was a situation of TCU's defense stepping up in the red zone. I mean, that late in that game, when there was TCU's defense's back was against the wall that entire second half, and Sam Levitt was playing out of his mind. I would say, and of course, this is a TCU post-game show, right? If my friend Jared's watching this, he's like, you're being biased. Shut up, bro. Yes, I'm wearing a effing TCU hat. Of course I'm biased. We all have biases, okay? I think that was more of an issue of TCU's defense standing up than Arizona State's defense wetting the bed, personally, because Arizona State was playing really great in that game. And it's hard to score in the red zone when you're playing a good defense. I mean, hell, freaking Exhibit B, the interception off of Jordan Dwyer, and yeah, that was the only other time we were in the red zone that we didn't score. But yeah, it's hard to score in the red zone against a good defense. And I should talk about this defense. All right, let's talk about this defense, because I really think, you know, when you're playing offense as good as Arizona State's, with a quarterback as talented as Sam Levitt, TCU always, and forever has struggled with mobile quarterbacks. And again, I think Jordan Tyson is the best receiver in the nation right now. I truly believe that. To hold that team to 27 points, that's saying a lot. And especially with it, I'm trying to see if I have time of possession here, but it really felt like Arizona State had the ball an outsized amount of time because TCU wasn't running the ball and wasn't sustaining drives for the most part. Let's see here if we got it. Okay, yeah. Arizona State's time of possession, 35 minutes, 47 seconds. 35 minutes compared to TCU's 24 minutes, right? That defense was on the field a lot. They were having to deal with a lot. Yeah, Cam Scadaboo's not there anymore, but those running backs were still effective in space. I mean, I am more than willing to give Andy Avalos and this defense all the freaking credit in the world to hold Arizona State to 27 points with as many short fields as they had. I mean, my God, I was too quick with the tweet to say how good TCU's punter was doing, and then all of a sudden start shanking them, right, and giving Arizona State short fields. I think it was an outstanding job by TCU's defense. And frankly, I will not hear any arguments to the contrary. This is entirely on the offense and mostly on the offensive line and Josh Hoover, in my opinion. Now, again, did it hurt not having Eric McAllister on the field? Absolutely, it hurt not having Eric McAllister on the field. But it's not as though you don't have weapons, right? Again, Manjack had a great game. Jordan Dwyer had a great game. You saw Ed Small get some action in there. DJ Rogers had a couple of really nice catches. We didn't even mention DJ Rogers yet. And we'll have to hope that he didn't get hurt there late in the game. Yeah, 4 catches, 60 yards. Okay. We spread the ball around. It was, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different receivers catching a pass, right? This is a deep receiving core. You've got weapons on this team. You just got to use them. And again, I think we abandoned the run game entirely too soon. The thing about this too is if you're going to abandon the run game, you got to manufacture it somehow to get ahead of the chains. We had entirely too many long third downs, long second downs, untimely penalties, right? Lack of discipline. You're not going to hold on to a lead if you're doing that. Yeah. Thank you, Austin. The defense showed heart and guts. If you are going to piss on the defense after that performance, then you may just be an unhappy and miserable person. Okay, that defense played great. That may have been the best defensive performance since Sonny Dykes friggin' got here. Okay, and I don't think that's hyperbole. They played really, really, really well. This offense needs to be able to score more than 24 points, right? Especially when you start off 17-0 like we did. What's up, Jackson? Things aren't great. They're not great. Thanks for being here, but we're not thriving. We're not thriving right now on a Friday night. Yeah, I mean, that's certainly. I'm not going to sit here and disagree with you, Colin. The play calling was less than ideal. Okay, I think we're being a little premature here, Austin, if we're talking about hot seats. No, I don't think so. Because again, I want you to be honest with yourself here. Okay, we got 23 people watching this right now. Did any single one of you honestly believe that this TCU team was going to go undefeated this year? All right, go ahead and lie to me. We talked about this from stem to stern on the Biggest 12, talking about how this back-to-back playoff teams on a short week was going to be a difficult draw, right? If you started this season 3-1, you were going to feel pretty good about it, right? We're pissed off right now because of the way we lost this game, because we were up 17-0 and we crapped the bed, right? That's why this is frustrating. And because this team has played so well up to this point, that you really saw them as a front runner in the conference. And again, that's still within the realm of possibility. This is still a team that can get to Arlington. It becomes more complicated now. You definitely need Tech to beat Arizona State, and you probably need Arizona State to drop one more game to feel good about it, and you probably need to win out, okay? But listen, it's not outside the realm of possibility. I mean, I think that TCU, you got 3 more games on the schedule that look particularly difficult, right? Those being Baylor at home, which you get at home. You've got Iowa State also at home. So those are 2 beneficial draws. And then you got at BYU, right? 3 tough draws. And of course, you also have trap games at West Virginia. And I mean, dare I say that Kansas State's a trap game now, right? But again, it's not outside the realm of possibility. The season is still very young. If you're going to drop a game, you want to drop a game early, right? It's just frustrating that we're not in the driver's seat right now, of course. But we don't need to be talking about hot seats, okay? This is still a very good team. Hopefully, with any luck, they learn from this, they grow from it, and they don't make these same mistakes again. But boy, howdy, what a freaking frustrating way to lose a ball game. Yeah, let's take a moment here and see. Let me get it going here if I can. Trying to show y'all an ad, and it doesn't want to cooperate for me. Okay, so here's what I will do for you. You need to check out Voice of College Football Shop if you haven't done that already. Okay, let me get that up on the screen for us. New store, on the Voice of College Football website, which, by the way, if you're not checking out the Voice of College Football website on the reg, you ought to be doing it. Okay, lots of great discussion, conversation going on there, as well as on the Voice of College Football social media channels. Okay, add it to the stage. There we are. So, yeah, we got hats, we got polos, we got shirts, all that stuff to throw a VOCFB on your chest or on your noggin. Okay, and if you enter in Big 12 VOCFB at checkout, that's going to be a promo code for you. Let them know that we sent you. And, I keep saying, they keep telling me that we're going to get Biggest 12 merch. All right, so be on the lookout for that. I gave them some design ideas. We'll see if anybody listens to me. But yeah, check out the Voice of College Football shop and Voice of College Football bets. If I can ever get that ad to come up, the media assets, they're just not loving me on StreamYard today. All right, what do we got, Big Lubbock? Are you gonna spew some Texas Tech propaganda here? I am not biased. Okay, great way to start. Texas Tech is just the real deal. I wish we were playing this weekend. Bye weeks are boring. Well, you are correct on 2 counts. Bye weeks can be boring, yes. And Texas Tech is a good squad. I'm still holding out hope that it's going to be a Texas Tech TCU Big 12 championship game. I mean, the hatred in that building will feed families. It'll be a beautiful thing. So we're going to need help from you, Tech. We're going to need you to win out for sure and beat Arizona State. Help us get there. I mean, I know you'd rather play us than what? What do you want to play Utah again? You don't care about that. Come on. You want somebody interesting. I know you do. Okay. All right. What else you got for me, Colin? What do you think about that little fake draw play that seems to always lose about 8 yards per play, whether we actually run the ball or pass off play action? I'm trying to think about which draw you're referring to. I'm sure it's often we run a shocking amount of RPOs in this offense that aren't actually very easy to identify. So that might be what you're referring to. And I know that a lot of the times when we run RPO, that Josh Hoover ends up pulling the ball. I was actually so I was watching most of last week's game with Bram Kohlhausen and Joey Hunt. Shout out, remember the Alamo Bowl, watch it on my channel. Okay. And they were talking about this exact thing, about how we abandon the run too quickly. And, every time we run an RPO, we pull the ball. So maybe this delayed draw is what I'm searching my mind to try and think of when that happened in the game, and I'm coming up empty here. All right, Austin, what do you have? Hell of a game. Go Devils. Wish the horn for it. Yeah, man. Hey, listen, I've got no ill will against Arizona State. Every single Arizona State person I've interacted with on the internet has been an absolute joy. Shout out Ralph. Shout out Totri. Shout out Uniformity. All great people. Yeah, I'd like to beat y'all. That'd be cool. That'd be nice. But maybe next year, I guess. Or maybe in the postseason. Who knows? Yeah. Appreciate that, though, Austin. Appreciate that. Us desert dwelling mascots. We got to stick together, right? All right. What else you got for me, Austin? I want to make it clear. I don't think Sonny Dykes should be on the hot seat, but the media blows things out of context. Well, you're making a very big assumption, Austin, that anyone is going to talk about us in the first place. Okay. I tend to think that ESPN and the media at large tend to look for any excuse to pretend that TCU just doesn't exist. Case in point, the North Carolina game. Were you even aware that we were playing in that game? I wasn't, right? Kirk Herbstreit couldn't be bothered to mention the fact that we were present at that game. All right, Big Lubbock. I'm truly hoping they would. Yeah. Well, yeah, it would have been nice if we were both 12-0 in Arlington, but I'll settle for one loss if we still get there. Everything's in front of us. Right, everything's in front of us. It's a long season, and again, hopefully the Frogs. I mean, gosh, it's kind of crazy. You didn't think that if you were talking about an Arizona State loss at this point in the season, that it would be because the offense is what completely short-circuited and just stopped working. But that's why we play the games, right? We don't play them on paper. That's why we roll out there and play them. Wasted opportunities, and hopefully we don't waste any more. Yeah, before I guess, it's getting late for everybody. My wife's finally home from work. That's how late it is. Before I go, I just want to tell you the documentary was amazing. Oh, thank you, Colin. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. please, everyone, check out the film. I'm not making a single dime off of this film, but I just want people to see it and enjoy it. It's a love letter. It's my love letter to college football, to TCU football, to the state of Texas, and I hope that you all get a chance to watch it and enjoy it. I got a couple of ideas rattling around in the old chamber for another feature film, so I'll have to put out a poll to y'all in the near future and see what y'all might be interested in watching. TCU wide receivers having a heck of a time getting open today. Well, in some cases, yes. In some cases, no. Right? There were plenty of now. I will say they weren't having as easy a time as Jordan Tyson. Jordan Tyson, man, there were several times where I'm like, why did we forget he was on the field? What are we doing, man? But Dwyer, they had pretty well blanketed, and it hurt that Eric McAllister wasn't out there, truly. I think that you probably would have had less bracket coverage on Dwyer if McAllister's out there and they got to worry about McAllister. And that's also why Manjack was getting open from the slot so much. Oh, and also, can I shout out Chase Curtis one more time? Because not only did he have that beautiful block on the pull there on the Trent Battle touchdown, but also the great pass over the top on the wheel route. Very nice. Chef's kiss. We ever since that Louisiana Tech game in the COVID year, I can't help but cheer for Chase Curtis, right? Every single time that kid's on the field. And now he's like 30 years old, he's still in college somehow. Like it's great to watch. It's great to watch. Okay, y'all. Well, that's about all I have to say about it. Frogs lose. But you know what? Sun's gonna rise tomorrow. I'm gonna do some yard work. All right. Get a little sweaty and work this thing out. Okay. And then you know what? We'll come back against Colorado, a down Colorado team. Okay. Hopefully get a little 2023 revenge. That'll be nice. Yeah. Underneath the lights. And then we get this thing rolling. Okay. Because think about it. We got 2 weeks to right the ship here before you got Baylor coming to town. Yeah. Colorado and then at Kansas State. I mean, hey, how great is that Kansas State is not who we thought that they were going to be, right? Makes the schedule a little bit more manageable. Then you got Baylor at home, one that you feel good about, one that you certainly have to win. The tough game at West Virginia. Listen, we're going to find out everything we need to know about this team. I think we've already found out a lot about this team, and I think if you'd have told me in the offseason, if you'd have told me in like June, we're going to start the year 3-1, I'd be like, great. I feel good about that. And it's one of those wins against SMU. Please tell me one of those wins is against SMU. Okay, good. Yes. So this Baylor to BYU stretch that I'm looking at right here, and I wish I had dates in front of me. I think that's essentially the month of October. Yeah, that's like October, November, that 4-game stretch. That's going to decide whether or not this team is competing for a Big 12 championship or if they're competing for a Liberty Bowl, okay? And that's going to tell us everything we need to know. But until next week, hopefully we're celebrating a Frogs win next week. Until then, across the bottom of the screen, TCU VOCFB. If you're watching it here, hit that little subscribe button. Wherever you're watching it, please go to Big 12 Voice of College Football and give me a subscribe there. Again, 26 people. That's all I need. 26 of you. Okay? Go on over there and hit that subscribe button. That's going to help me out in a major way. Make sure you're checking out Voice of College Football Bets. StreamYard's not cooperating with me, so I can't play the ad for you. But if you watch my show, you've seen it. Okay? Follow me on Twitter at Clint_Foster55. There it is right there. And my personal YouTube channel again at Clint Foster Creations for the documentary and all of my other silliness. So I'll see you on Tuesday for the Biggest 12. Trying to get some fun guests lined up for us. And until next week, I love you and go Frogs. We'll get them next time. I promise. We don't need a West Virginia flag waving. Let's just get out of here.